Hello and welcome to Digging with Dugan. Today we're going to be sort of picking up where we left off. This episode is going to be a whole lot of background info, all of which is slightly related to each other, but it may feel like jumping around a little bit. Now, we're going to start off by answering, what is a mastaba tomb? As we'd referenced that Neith-Hotep had built a glorious one for herself. Now, a mastaba is functionally the bottom half of what will become a pyramid. It's really they're 8 to 16 feet tall, I'd assume. The outside edges of them often had, bobbing and weaving edges, almost like those of a castle, and then they would cover them up with brick, clay brick, and if they were real fancy, they'd put white limestone or white marble casings on the outside of them, which would give it this like really bright glow. And so they can be of varying sizes, though Neith-Hotep's was the largest that had ever been. And so mastabas are the direct ancestors of what will be the pyramids. And so when Neith-Hotep had her mastaba made, she may have indirectly created the future tradition of producing a pyramid upon, before the death of the pharaoh, as like a status symbol. So it's pretty long-lasting effects there. Now, why would somebody who is the king of a land spend a ridiculous amount of their money on a fancy grave? Why wouldn't they do something productive with all that money and manpower? Now, that is because of the Egyptians' opinion on the afterlife, their faith. And so I must first say that the Egyptian faith is, while it is one thing, it's an ever-evolving thing in the theology and the gods and what roles they play and how important they are. It shifts through time. It's not a solid thing. There's lots of themes that continue throughout the whole of it, but it's never. If you jump 1,000 years, there'll be massive changes. It's not the same, but it is the same religion. Now then, anyways, they believe that when you died, you went to the afterlife, which was a journey to the final afterlife. Now, they believe that people have something called the Ba and a Ka, which is basically a soul and a spirit, and they believed that all the better that your corpse was maintained, the more your spirit could be maintained. The more your spirit was maintained, the stronger your soul would be in the afterlife. They believed that if the images drawn of you the images drawn of you on your tomb controlled what you would look like in the afterlife. So oftentimes, if someone had done something terrible in life, someone might go and desecrate their tomb, and if you broke the image's legs, they believe that you were actually like that guy in the afterlife. He's walking along and suddenly his fucking legs snap and he falls to the ground because somebody desecrated his tomb. So yeah, and that said, we will talk about the twin ladies real quick. This would be the goddesses Hathor and Isis. They were two very important goddesses. Isis was, she is heavily associated with birth and all sorts of things like that. She was, I'm trying to think of a proper word, but we'll address her more in detail at a later date. Hathor was a goddess of fertility. She's commonly depicted as a cow with big old horns. She's on the Namer palette, seen as overlooking things. And, I think that's a good place to leave off.